Hello, Lisa here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is your first time visiting me. I am doing a recent deck roundup today, so I'm going to be sharing with you, it's basically a haul. I'm going to show you the decks and things, mostly decks, that came in to my home / maybe collection over the past month. Before I get into all the good stuff, can we just pause and appreciate how absolutely stunningly beautiful this reading cloth is? There's a story with this, actually. So Peggy found this incredible cloth. It's actually like, I'm going to show you the background. It's going to be a teaser because there's another cloth I have underneath. But look it. This is what the back looks like. It's all like blues and sandy colors and water. It's all watercolory. It's so pretty. Anyways, Peggy put some in her Etsy shop to sell them. And one was earmarked for me. So she was going to sell, I think, 2, and then one was earmarked for me. And she sold 3. There was a math error. So I did not freak out, but I was a little bit sad, and she bought more. So there's probably going to be a couple of these going up in her shop if they're not already there. I'll try to link them up in the card so you can find them, but I just think this is so beautiful. There's like an eagle here and this beautiful moose, and it's so pretty. It's all foresty and lovely, and yeah, okay, gushing aside, you know I love everything my wife does, but there you go. This is the first thing I want to talk about. So I pre-ordered this a long time ago. I don't know exactly how I found it. I'm sure it was somewhere on social media, and I think it's actually a planner that is geared towards people who are neurodivergent or have ADHD, that kind of thing. Neither of which I have. However, I do have certain issues with my memory and with procrastination and all that kind of stuff. So the idea of the Antiplanner is that you can get shit done when you don't feel like it. That's the total premise, but it's not organized like a planner. So I'm going to show you a little bit about it because I think it's super cool, and this just shipped to me recently, so I don't know if that means there's going to be more on the website that you can purchase. Did I not get the... Oh, there's a sleeve. I'm not very smart. Hold on. How do I get the sleeve off? I think it slides? Yes. Wow, you have to be smarter than the packaging. And I've just freshly painted my nails. I don't know why I'm trying so hard not to like rip the packaging. Like, it doesn't really matter. But anyways, there's this sleeve that comes on it. It does have an elastic. It's huge though, you guys. Look at how wide the rings are. It has one of these elastic bands, and it also has a built-in pen loop. But this is what's cool about this. So this is not, like I said, a traditional planner. Instead, this is all about taking care of the thing, just getting things done. And it does that through helping you work through a variety of sort of feelings you might be experiencing. So the way that this planner is organized is you have a section for if you're feeling stuck. So this is like too anxious to start on anything, stressed about not getting anything done. It's if you're feeling avoidant, indecisive, perfectionistic, or distracted. And then there's a section here with activities if you're feeling overwhelmed, so intimidated, overcommitted, panicked, or burnt out. And then there's a section if you're feeling unmotivated, so waiting, unaccountable, disinterested, or uninspired. And then there's a section for if you're feeling disorganized, so messy, difficulty prioritizing, cluttered, or chaotic. And then there's a section if you're feeling discouraged, so hopeless, insecure, disheartened, lacking confidence. And then there are extras, random pages that don't fit anywhere else. So these are basically, they're activities. They're not, oh, there's something in here about the Kanban board. That's awesome. So like, for example, this is in the section disorganized. So this talks about how to create a Kanban board. And I've actually just recently been learning about these, but essentially you can do them digitally or physically. But there's, you basically organize your sort of to-dos into 4 categories. So to do, in progress, on hold, or done. And that visual progress of sort of moving things from column to column can be really helpful if you are, so this is kind of what it looks like, if you struggle. And people will literally put these on their walls. They'll have bulletin boards where they do this. They'll do this with stickies. I think there's actually some software, like online programs that you can use that do this same kind of thing. You can batch things together. So this is what is explaining that. But there's also things like ranking your tasks, or here's another one, the secret of staying tidy without losing your mind. There's all kinds of stuff. A fridge challenge. I mean, there's tons and tons and tons of stuff here, but it's literally, what is this? Coin spin, let the chips fall where they may. So this is a luck-based activity to let fate decide what task you should start on. And there's a whole little game you can play. So some of this stuff, I just thought this was really creative and super cool, and I just really wanted to support it for starters. But then I thought this might give me, I love discovering new hacks. And like, even if I just get 1 or 2 really useful ideas from this, to help me organize all the many projects I'm always working on, or the things that I'm always trying to accomplish, I think that would be awesome. And I often face this sort of stuff, feeling overwhelmed or just disorganized or whatever. And I know it maybe doesn't always look like that because I do a lot of things, but this has got a real humorous sort of plain speak. There's some swear words in here. You know, it's not trying to be too, I don't know, serious, I guess. So this is really exciting. I'm super happy to have it in. It's created by Danny Donovan, and you can find out more about, I think if you just Google Antiplanner, I'll put a link down below so you can find it. But I'm just really excited to have this. This isn't the kind of thing I think I would cart around with me every day, but it's something I'm going to really enjoy going through. And I think if I find activities that I really like, I might take a picture of them and put them in my iPad so that I can work on them digitally. So I think I might do that with some of this stuff. But like, there's just creating rituals, how to get yourself in a productive mood, how to stay inspired. I'm not pumped about the thing anymore. And then there's activities. I just think this is really, really cool. And I kind of forgot about it. It was one of those things that I pre-ordered on a bit of an impulse because I thought it was super fun. And I love planner things in general. I'm a kind of a nerd about them. And this just seemed really super awesome. Now I'm doing most of my planning on my iPad, which has been amazing for my productivity and organization. But anyway, this is not like they didn't send this to me. I've totally bought this with my own money. I'm gushing, but I think it's just really unique and exciting. So I wanted to share it with y'all. So that came in July. Okay, so I think I don't even know what to tackle next. Let's talk birthday stuff because I bought some things and I was sent a couple things for my birthday. So let me show you those. So I went to my local metaphysical store because once during the month of your birthday, if you are like if you're signed up for their email list or whatever, one time during the month of your birthday, you go in and you can get 20% off. Just one time, you can get 20% off of like everything you purchase. So usually I go in once during my birthday month and I look for a deck I might want to buy, something that maybe I would think, you know, is maybe I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to love it, but it's a great opportunity to try something new. And I picked up this. Oh, look, it's all shiny. You can see my camera reflected up there. This is the Book of Shadows Tarot by Barbara Moore. I'm super excited about this and I want to talk about it some more. So basically, this is actually 2 tarot decks that come in a set. And what appeals to me about this is that it's got kind of an, I want to say like an old school Wicca, but I don't know that it's even old school, but it's got a very sort of witchy Wiccan overtone to the premise of it, this whole idea of it being the Book of Shadows Tarot. I love the sort of vibe of the Triskeli here. It's totally giving me Charmed vibes, by the way, because I say that because I'm rewatching Charmed right now. But anyways, you can buy these decks individually or you can get them in this set. How am I going to get these out without totally messing up my nails? Okay, we're doing it. So you have the As Above deck, which is volume 1, and then you have the So Below deck, which is volume 2. I've seen the As Above deck on Dawn Michelle's channel, but I've just kind of been on a kick of Barbara Moore stuff lately. I've just been really enjoying my Barbara Moore decks, and this is one that I think I was just sleeping on. Now, the thing I'll say about this is that the As Above deck has renamed a lot of the cards. I would say, gosh, a lot of them, okay? To have that sort of pagan-y Wiccan overtone. So this is the back of the As Above deck. The So Below deck has sort of a sagey green border on the backs, but otherwise looks fairly similar. So let's look at a couple of the cards. So the Fool is the Summerlands. The Hierophant is the Book of Shadows, which I just really love. And this is that like low Scarabeo size deck. It feels like it's a little bit smaller than standard tarot size. And I like low Scarabeo cardstock. And I don't mind the borders on this actually either. The art has this sort of 90s digital vibe to me, but it's not a 90s deck. It just has that feel. The Hermit is the Path. Like I really like a lot of the renamings. The Wheel of Fortune is the Wheel of the Year. And then we have Mabon for Justice. The Circle for the Hanged One. I love that so much actually. Yule is the Death card. And there's actually all the Sabbats are featured within the majors. Temperance is Ostara, which makes a lot of sense to me. It's such an in-between time. Lammas is the Devil. That's interesting. I might have to oh, but it makes sense, the reaping and stuff. Okay, anyways. I'm thinking reaping, so I was thinking death. What is death? Did I already see? Death is Yule. Oh, right. So it's going to be tied into the lore, I think, to sort of traditional Wiccan lore. I'm assuming. I'm really excited to get into the guidebook, and I haven't yet. Then we have Imbolc for the Star. Samhain for the Moon, which makes a lot of sense. Litha for the Sun. And then we have Initiation for Judgment. I mean, it's really cool. It's giving me a lot of... I feel like this would be such a fun deck to work with while rereading that super witchy book series that I cannot remember the name of. Let me grab it because I'm not going to be able to get over it. Hold on. This book, Sweep by Kate Tiernan. This is a series and it is incredible. It is so good. I have them. I've kept them. This was the most fun read ever, but this deck feels like it could have come out of this world. This has got a lot of that sort of like, to me, the witchcraft and the Wicca that I got to know when I first came out as a little baby witch in like the mid-90s. This totally has that vibe. But anyways, there's a lot of references here to traditional Wiccan practices, and I find that really awesome. So I'm really excited to get into this As Above deck for that reason, and it's just beautiful. Like, look at this artwork. And the suits are renamed to their elemental counterparts, which is what I'm doing with my own deck. So of course, you know I'm a fan of that. So it's earth, air, fire, water, as opposed to pentacles, swords, cups, etc. But look at this 10 of wands or 10 of fire, and it's all these constellations. I just know there's going to be a lot of meaning in the guidebook. Barbara Moore is very intentional with the deck she creates, so I'm really excited to get into it and learn a little more. I'm going to pull these like extra... Well, I guess I can leave the cards in the box because I'm probably going to end up putting this into a Peggy bag of some kind. Look at this. God, this is so pretty. Look at this. We're probably going to be here, but by the way, for a while. I know I say that on like all my videos, but for reals, I'm probably going to be here for a bit. So I'm going to stick this back in. But I picture using this deck together, like doing As Above, So Below readings. Like, doesn't that just make so much sense? I just think it's really smart. So the As Above deck has all these like high, like sort of spiritual concepts, or spiritual witchy, I should say, concepts. And then the So Below is really grounded in daily life. So the art style is more grounded. This is what the backs look like. So you can see it's the same thing, just with a sage green border. So this is the art style of the So Below deck. And it has a very modern feel. Like, it's still fun. It's a little whimsical, but it's very much rooted. Like, here's the Empress, like putting a bandage on this little boy's knee. Amazing. The Emperor is this person who's obviously trying to meet a deadline. Super relatable. Here's the Hanged Man doing an inversion in yoga. Let's find some minor arcana cards. Here's the Three of Chalices. So we still have that sort of witchy spiritual feeling to this deck, but Six of Cups or Six of Chalices. So it's chalices instead of cups. Let's see. Pentacles are still pentacles. Look at the Two of Pentacles. It's like she's got a gnome. Oh, that's the other thing I noticed about the So Below deck. There's all these like little magical creatures that are helping. So in the Pentacles, it's gnomes. And that's something that caught my attention because I have little elemental beings in my deck too. So I think part of the association here for me is that clearly we have shared views about tarot things. Yeah, so there's these sweet little, I mean, they're a little bit like exotic looking, I guess. I don't know what the right word is looking for that. But in the cups, you have these nymphs, which I have nymphs in my water suit. And then in the pentacles, you have gnomes. Like, look at this Ace of Pentacles. Oh my gosh. And then in the wands suit, you have salamanders, which is the traditional elemental. I have dragons in my deck, but same idea. And then we have little sylphs or fairies in the air suit, which is still swords. I was wondering if it was going to be renamed. Did I do earth, air, fire, water? Yeah, I did show them all. So yeah, those are the associations. But the neat thing about this is it shows everyday life, but it shows sort of how you can be spiritually connected even through your everyday life. So this feels very much like an everyday witchcraft or everyday magic kind of vibe. And I'm here for it. I think it's really awesome. So I think this would make a really cool As Above, So Below practice. And so I'm excited to dig into it. I haven't yet. I've been sort of setting everything aside into a place to talk about it. But the neat thing is that the guidebook has full card entries for every single card in both decks. And then there's also a bunch of information in the front. Let me see if I can find a table of contents so I can show you what I mean. Hopefully there is a table of contents in here. Okay, so it's a pretty basic table of contents. We have introduction, As Above, So Below, and reading the cards. But there is a lot of stuff here. I'm excited about this. So it's got, like I said, it's a very witchy vibe, but also the decks themselves are really beautiful. And the thing I didn't realize is that I believe they are, I want to say it's, is it collaboration? No, these are just different languages on the title cards. Okay, forget I said that. But anyways, I'm really stoked about this. And part of me kind of wants to keep it in its box as a set. I don't typically do that. So I'm trying to decide if I will use these decks separately or if I'll use them together. But I think it'd be super fun to reread the Sweep series while working with this deck. That's just my book-loving brain is just like kind of excited about the possibilities. But anyways, that came in. Also, I picked up for myself the Folklore Tarot. I kind of went gaga on this in my hot takes video. Let me be honest, okay? I got excited about this because there's spot gloss on the cards. That is the shiny sort of accenting that you can have on cards so that the cardstock can be matte. You can see it actually on the box. See all the places where it catches the light? That's spot gloss. And I don't see many mass market decks that have spot gloss accents, and I'm a nerd, so I got excited about it. It is a pretty deck, and I have opened it and flipped through it a little, and I have to say, I'm a little bit annoyed by the associations on the cards, like the symbols. The actual art style is really super sweet, like it's mythological or folkloric characters in this beautiful folklore style art, but it does its own thing with the elemental associations, or rather I should say the, not the elements, but the astrological associations. So, and it's all over the place a little bit. And I think the thing that bugs me is that there's nothing in the guidebook that actually makes a case for why. It just says this is the association, but it's not the traditional association necessarily. So there's some alchemical associations. So for example, let me put that down for a second. So the Fool, yeah, so the Fool says its symbol is salt. So salt is one of the 3 primes in alchemy along with sulfur and mercury. It represents the body and physical world. Due to its use in preventing food from spoiling, salt has become a symbol of protection and purification. The expression salt of the earth refers to a person who is honest and grounded. Now here's the thing, I don't actually see the Fool as a grounded character. I see the Fool as kind of ungrounded, to be honest. They're kind of flighty and going by, anyway, so this might be, everything I'm about to say is likely subjective as far as like how I view the characters of the tarot, but gosh, it's so pretty. Like look at the spot gloss on the back. And the characters, like it's all it's really pretty. But then we have the Magician. And now the Magician's association here is the Philosopher's Stone. So again, an alchemical reference, but it doesn't really, it says that as a metaphor, the stone also represents the acquisition of skill and knowledge and a transformation of the mind. I could probably make a case for that being associated with the Magician, but it's not really how I see the Magician. And then we have the Priestess. And now we have Mercury. And now I'm kind of annoyed because I'm like, okay, well, the Priestess is traditionally associated with the moon, not with Mercury. So what are we doing here? And Mercury it is a alchemical reference, but it can also be a planet, or is also a planet. So I'm like, I feel like this is going to be confusing. And again, it talks about Mercury, and it talks about how illustrates the let's see, it's a feminine symbol also associated with the planet Mercury, illustrating the priestess's mysterious and mercurial nature. Okay, sure. And then the Empress is Venus, and I started to get excited. I'm like, okay, we're good now. And the Emperor is Mars. And I'm like, wait, no, the Mars is associated with the Tower. What is happening? So then I clicked to the book, and it says, while this symbol is now used to represent masculinity, it was originally related to Mars, both the planet and the Roman god of war. It is also the alchemy symbol for iron. And I'm like, okay, maybe we're still in alchemy. And again, with alchemy in the Hierophant, we have sulfur. And I'm like, okay, I can kind of get the desire to get alchemical references in here. But then we have the Lovers is Gemini, and I'm like, yes, we're back on track. But then the Chariot. Now this one, I have to admit, kind of a deal breaker, because the Chariot is my sun sign card. It's associated with the sun sign Cancer. And here it's associated with Sagittarius. And I'm like, no, Sagittarius is associated with the Temperance card. And I'm like, so I look in the beginning of the book to see if there's anything at all in the introduction saying like I've done my own associations or whatever, and nothing. And then when I read the section about Sagittarius and the Chariot, it says the Chariot is associated with the zodiac sign of Sagittarius. No, traditionally it's not. So if the author is associating it, sure, but it's not clear that this is a just kind of personal set of associations. And so I feel like if somebody is newer to the tarot, and they pick this up and they're relying on those associations, it could get confusing. So Leo is correct for strength. Pisces for the Hermit is not correct. The Wheel doesn't have it's Earth associated now. Justice as Libra is correct, but Jupiter for the Hangman is not. And okay, we have to talk about the Hangman. So tarot, y'all, okay. I'm about to rant a little bit. And again, please know that this is stuff that many people might not even notice or care about, and that's totally fine. I really still want to work with this deck, to be completely honest, because it's so dang beautiful. But it says Hangman, not Hanged Man. And it's got Odin here. And Odin is associated with the Hanged Man card because of the surrender and him going to the well and like discovering the runes and the insights and all that stuff. Okay, so you can look that story up if you're interested. But A hangman is the person who's doing the hanging, not the person being hanged. And to me, that dramatically shifts the vibe of this card. Odin was not a hangman, he was a hanged man. And traditionally this card is the hanged man, not the hangman. But then in the description, it doesn't actually, it literally says learning from mistakes, letting go, sacrifice, suspension, indecision, delusion. Nothing here recognizing that a hangman and a hanged man are two different things. And y'all, I've talked about stuff like this before because words matter to me, and I'm not perfect. I'm sure I misuse words all the time, so I'm not judging anybody, but this is the kind of thing I would hope that the publisher would catch and correct, or at least that there would be something in the guidebook saying like this creator has gone their, this deck creator is doing their own thing, going their own way. Temperance is not Aquarius, and now I'm just getting twitchy. The devil, Tower is, Cancer is the Tower. Now listen, I have the zodiac sign of Cancer, and it's associated with crabs. Now, it's already not a very glamorous sign, okay? We have the 69 symbol, it's associated with the word Cancer and with a crab. And now you're gonna stick me in the Tower? Now I'm just angry. So like, it's just a problem for me. You know, the moon as the moon, sure, okay. The sun as judgment, fine. I mean, at this point, I'm just checked out of the associations. So I have issues with the major arcana, I do. But do I love the actual associations on the cards mythologically with the meaning of the cards? Yes, I absolutely love them. And the guidebook entries really focus on these. Let me show you an example here. Let's go to, where did I just see? Like Tower is Baba Yaga. I think that makes so much sense. Okay, so we have this dragony character for Temperance, who is apparently Aquarius now. I mean, clearly I have issues, okay? And this is, again, I'm not saying this is incorrect or invalid as an association. It just makes me twitchy because I tend to lean into the more traditional associations. I'm not saying there's no value in this. I'm sure that there is, but it's just not my thing. Anyway, Temperance, one of the most well-known elements of Chinese culture and mythology is the Chinese dragon, also called Long, it says. These legendary creatures are associated with power, strength, and good luck. Chinese emperors often used the dragon to symbolize their imperial authority. Other important and successful people have often been compared to these noble creatures as well. Dragons are believed to be able to control aspects of the weather, especially rainfall. Different colors of Chinese dragons carry additional symbolism. For example, blue dragons are said to represent nature, peace, and tranquility, which I can make the association there with Temperance. The Temperance card reminds us to strive for balance and harmony in every aspect of our lives. So from a tarot meaning perspective, this association works, and I haven't seen a lot of associations in the majors. Like, look at this, that's perfect for Justice. That works. I prefer to see this reference actually in Judgment, but that's another thing. But the spinning wheel for the wheel definitely initiated a big change, etc. So like, I feel like the associations between the meanings of the cards and the mythological or folkloric references do make sense. But given that this is a pip deck, let me show you. It's a pip deck. Given that it's a pip deck, I want more thoroughness in the major arcana, because we're really leaning heavily into the majors, I feel like, when we have a pip deck. But anyway, so it is a pip deck. This doesn't bother me. I think these pips are beautiful, and I think a lot of the pips really still illustrate the meaning of the card. If you kind of are looking for it, you can really see it, and I love that about it. Truly, this feels like a really readable pip deck. If you know the meanings of the cards, you can really lean into the way that these pips are illustrated to get that meaning. Sorry, I need to remember to hold the cards up further, because I like doing it this way. Love the associations, really, truly. It's so dang beautiful. It's just those, the funny thing is, it's just those dang symbolic associations that bug me. In fact, if this deck did not have these symbols down here at the bottom for me to get all up in my head about, I wouldn't care. And I'm almost tempted, and maybe this is super petty of me, I'm almost tempted to sort of black that out with black Sharpie, but I'm worried that doing that, because it's spot gloss, will just make the black Sharpie shiny. But maybe if I color in like a little box or something, I don't know. I don't know if it would still be visible. But it's so pretty. It's so pretty. It's really, really pretty. I just don't agree with the major arcana references. And again, not saying it's wrong. I'm sure that you can make a case for those references for sure. It's just not the references that I know. And I'm concerned that a newer tarot reader would pick this up, and then it gets really confusing if you're seeing all the books and things reference different associations, and there's no explanation and nothing in the book that says, that I found anyway, that says I've done my own thing here. Because there's nothing in the back either. We go right from the King of Wands, which is the last card, to a spread, and then a little bit about the artist, and that's it. I couldn't find anything else. So I think this is gorgeous, and taking it at face value, I still love it. Like, I don't want to get rid of it. It just depends on if I can get around my personal irritation with the associations in the majors, with those symbols. So if I can get around that, I think I might be really into it. And the funny thing is, you can tell on the back of the box because the priestess shows Mercury right there, and you'd be like, wait, what? But there we go. The Folklore Tarot. Really happy I picked this up so I could take a look at it, and also so I could share that if anybody's kind of been on the fence about this one, so that they at least know. If you're not bothered by it, please don't let it stop you. It's beautifully produced. The cardstock is lovely. The spot gloss is gorgeous. It's everything I dreamed of. And the folkloric associations and the colors are all, it's just really beautiful. But dang it, those symbols are distracting. So we'll see if I can get over it or not. It might just make me too twitchy. I'll keep y'all posted. Another deck that I got in July. Okay, so here's the story about the Herb Crafters Tarot. I had this before and I rehomed it. This is by Joanna Powell Gilbert, and it is, the artwork is, and it's written by Letitia Guthrie. So I feel like there's a lot of Letitia Guthrie in the guidebook and in the intention of the cards, but I don't know who did what. That's what I've got from that. I got this because we are studying this deck. So I kicked off a deck study club in my channel membership. If you're interested in learning more about that, I've got a post about it in my Supportive Tarot Facebook group. You can also reach out to me and ask questions, or check my community tab. I've got a post talking about it in there if you dig down a little bit. But in my channel membership, we are going to be studying a deck every other month, like for 2-month period. So in August and September, we are studying the Herb Crafters Tarot. So this was voted on by my Magical Unicorns and Up. So my Magical and Badass Unicorns voted on 5 different decks. This was the one that was the winner. And so I brought it back into my collection. And I have to say, I'm really excited to spend some quality time with this. This is really beautiful. And even just in planning our prompts for our study club, I've already identified things about this that I didn't notice the first time around, which has me really excited. Things that just help me to identify what I'm in. Is it a major or a court card or a minor arcana card? More about the system. There's a lot here to dig into, and I'm really excited about it. So this came back into my collection. I'm not sad about it. Really excited to study it. At the very least, I know I'll come away from that study experience learning more about the deck and about how it works and about herbs in the process. So super stoked about this. We just started, so I've just rolled out my first prompt. I think when this video comes out, our second prompt will have hit, but we are running, again, all through August and September, we're studying this deck, and then sometime in September, we are going to have, well, 2 things are going to happen. In September, we're going to put out another poll for our October and November deck, which should be really fun. I've got some fun picks for that poll. But also at the end of September, Magical and Up Unicorns can join me for a live stream where we can come on camera with each other, talk about our experience studying the deck, all that kind of stuff. So I'm super excited about that. But just so you know, if you do want to participate, all members can participate. The prompts, the study prompts and the discussions go out to everybody. It's just that Magical Unicorns and Badass Unicorns can vote and can join me for the live stream. Everything else is for everybody. So just so you know, this is what we're doing in my membership right now. Really having a good time with it so far. But that's why this came back in. Oh, I said I was going to talk birthday stuff, and I totally got distracted and went, well, whatever. The other deck that I bought at my metaphysical store for my birthday is the Luminous Humanness Oracle cards. Now, I have high hopes for this deck because I have another Kelly Sullivan Walden deck. It is called the Hero's Journey Dream Oracle, and I have purchased it twice because I had the original when it first came out and it was on glossy cardstock, and then Blue Angel came out with a matte version of this deck. I use this every single time I do a past life reading, with a couple of rare exceptions. I love this deck. The guidebook is really well thought out, but the cards, the keywords, the phrases, everything works very, very well for me. I do really love Rasuli's artwork in this as well, but I have gotten so much use out of this Kelly, and this was by Kelly Sullivan Walden, the same creator. I've gotten so much use out of this that I have high hopes for Luminous Humanness. And when I saw this in the store and started looking at it, I got really excited. And I don't think I've heard anybody talking about this one. I've still got my little Blue Angel piece of paper. First of all, Kelly's guidebooks are wonderful, but they're not too hefty. But every card entry has a quote, a entry that's really digestible, and then a mantra that you can use if you want to work with that. And this seems to have a lot to do with sort of, oh, I love the shape of these cards too. Look at this. They're kind of tarot shaped as opposed to, like, let's just compare them to the standard Blue Angel Oracle shape and size, because I just had it out. You'd think I'd keep it out. So this is what the shape is of a standard Blue Angel Oracle. And you can tell it's the same height, but it's narrower. And then if I lay a tarot card on top of that, just to kind of give you an idea. These aren't all going to be identical to whatever, but like, just to give you an idea. There's our sizing. So it's still an oversized like oracle card size, but it's more tarot shaped, you know? It's got about the same aspect ratio, kind of, as tarot, which I just thought was fun, and I like that, so excited about that. But that's what the backings look like, by the way, which are just beautiful. What's awesome about this, the artwork on this one is by Layla Savolainen. I'll bring this up. Layla Savolainen. It's in the smaller text underneath. This has really incredible key phrases. Backstroke through your river of gold. Be the big one. Dancing in the parade. There's a lot of really strong self-worth messages, or like shadowy work kind of messages here. Hall of mirrors. High frequency, more frequently. Iridescent opalescence. They're really interesting. They've got a rhythm to them. Living and loving in the 5th dimension. Paper tigers. Requited love. Ruthless compassion. I mean, there's just really good stuff. They glisten when you listen. Ugh. Trim tab. I had to look this up. So when I first flipped through this deck, I literally looked this up. The trim tab is the part of a ship that it's quite small, but it determines the direction the ship is moving. So I had to look that up, but I thought that was really cool. It had some really interesting meanings. Turn up your radiance dial. Wanderlust is a must. You are already golden. Really beautiful. Really excited to work with this one and get to know it. And it's just, oh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. So that is Luminous Humanness. And there's a little bit about the artist in the back. So she's been a teacher of art therapy and counseling, energy healing, and oracle readings, and has won numerous prestigious art prizes. So I always like to learn a little bit about the artist if I can. And yeah, so that is Kelly Sullivan Walden's Luminous Humanness Oracle. Really excited about that. So I bought that for myself for my birthday, but I was also sent a couple of presents, and I want to show those. So I was sent by my friend Dawn Michelle the book Writing Down the Bones by Natalie Goldberg. This is a book that Dawn has talked to me about in the past. It was always like you need to read this book, and it's all about it's a book about writing, and I love to write. I'm obviously writing a book right now. I'm working on a tarot guidebook, but I have many book plans in the future in my brain, so we'll see. But Dawn has just gushed about this book, and there's a lot. I've kind of done a little bit of a flip through, and a lot of the topics covered here feel like they could apply to fiction or nonfiction. And one of the things I've really struggled with when it comes to writing books, like books that are to inspire or assist you with writing, is that a lot of times they feel very fiction focused. This does not feel like that. So I'm really excited to get into this. And she sent me this lovely, like, little unicorn bookmark as well. So cute. With a little moon on the other side. So cute. But anyways, really excited to read this. And she sent it along with, and this I'm stoked about because y'all know I love cards, but this is the Writing Down the Bones deck. I've done a little flip through of these, but again, it does not feel solely fiction focused, which makes me really excited. So let me just show you some of these. So these are like writing prompts. So begin with I'm thinking of, and every time you get stuck, simply come back again to I'm thinking of and keep going. And then it tells you a little bit about it. This is a classic one. I've used it at least 1,010 times. It flushes out the mind, cleans the corners, not complicated. It's an entry point. Now go for 10 minutes on what I'm not thinking of. How can you write what is not there? Oh, it's there. It just hasn't risen up to consciousness. Your writing will make it present. Pen to paper, what I'm not thinking of. Another favorite, I'm looking at, and so forth. And they seem as though they are designed to kind of work through in order. And I'm stoked about this because keeping your sort of flow going, one of the things I find challenging is it's not like I'm always in perfect creative flow for writing or feeling like my words are coming easily. And things like this can really get you going. I know some people do like morning pages or other practices. So I'm really excited to read this and also work with these prompts. So that is Writing Down the Bones. And then a very lovely subscriber of mine sent me a surprise present. And this was, it's already in the thumbnail. I was not expecting this at all. And I have to say, I'm really stoked. So this is a deck that's actually was recommended to me many a time. And I was like, no, I don't need this. It's probably going to like overlap with other things that I have. I don't know. You know, I did that kind of a thing. It felt like it would have been a very self-indulgent purchase, which clearly I do plenty of that. I don't know why I hesitated, but I did. But this is called the Rainbow Tarot. And it's by Sonia Lazo. That's the IG account if you want to look them up. This was a Kickstarter deck, and I'm super excited about this, by the way. There's something that happens with the guidebook, or not with the guidebook, with the deck. Look at this freaking box. First of all, I love magnetic boxes. It's so stinking cute, but just, it's got silver rainbow holographic foiling, and look at the backs. Is this not the cutest? It is the cutest. But anyways, the only thing I've noticed is that the box, a card keeps trying to, like, it's not doing it now, but a card keeps trying to kind of like escape through this little gap. I don't know why. I've never seen that happen before. It looks like maybe this part of the cardboard is just a tad short. It won't matter to me because I keep my decks in bags and then like in their box, but in a bag, and then I hang it up. So it won't matter. It'll be protected, but it is something I noticed. But anyways, this is, I believe, a pip deck, if I remember correctly. And it's inspired or associated with the queer community, which is awesome. The titles of the majors are in French. And it's got a very, it's not Marseille feeling. Like this one kind of is. This one feels more RWS. This one feels RWS. Could go either way, I think. Definitely feels more, I guess, again, it could go either way. But then the Lover's card is RWS, etc. But when you get into the minors, oh no, it's not Pippish. Why did I think it was Pippish? It's not Pippish at all. But look at all the colors. Look at the, oh, we have to look at the Nine of Cups. That's important. Okay, so this one feels, it feels like, kind of like, I want to say RWS clone, but I don't think that's fair. It's really vibrant. It's got tons and tons of color, which y'all know I love so much. Here's some swords cards. Yeah, see, this one feels very Marseille. So it almost feels like a mashup in a way, in style, between Marseille and RWS. So I'm excited to play with this and see what I think of reading with it. I have not yet. I've been very disciplined about keeping all of my new decks tucked away until it's time to make this video. I tend to do that. It's like a present then when I get to open them all up and then start to think about what I want to work with next. Why am I'm having a struggle here. There we go. Oh my gosh, I've already been recording for so long and we still have a bunch of decks. This same lovely human also sent me a bunch of unicorn stickers that I cannot wait to get into, and look at them. Just even through the plastic, just look at them. There's so many of this like really cute style, and then there's more of this more, I mean, they're all cute, but you know what I mean? There's a lot of like cartoony ones, and then, but in different styles. I mean, stickers, hello? Yeah, we're happy about it. And then I brought in Seasons of the Witch, Mabon Oracle. I am just continuing with the series. I have the Yule, Beltane, and Samhain ones already. So I really like the look of this. It has pumpkin orange, like bright spiced pumpkin orange edges. And I love the themes. Now the art has changed. I think the artist has changed actually from the earlier decks, but I still really like it. It still feels like it lives in the same world. Like the art style doesn't feel far enough away to not feel cohesive with the other decks. So I'm really pleased. I like the associations here. I like the messages on the bottom, and I will definitely be working with this around Mabon season. So that is what the backings look like. I forgot to mention, and I should have, if you are in my channel membership, if you are a magical unicorn or up, I do monthly live readings for my members that are at that tier and up. And if you see any decks that I've shown you today that you want to make sure that I include in our member readings live stream, I think it's going to be happening this coming Saturday. Please drop that in the comments below so I know which ones y'all want to see in the readings. And if you are not a member, don't worry. If you're not a member, please let me know if there's any decks that I've shown you that you specifically want to see a walkthrough on. I'm probably not going to do a walkthrough of Herb Crafters or talk about it in more detail until after I complete the study. But other ones, if you want to see a walkthrough, let me know. I still have requests from the last time I did one of these that I have written down. I'm going to be getting to those as I can, but I just always like to know which ones y'all are most excited for so I can prioritize. Thank you very much for your help with that. So I also got in the Rain Shadow Tarot. Oh my gosh. So here's my story with Claire Mack. I got the Illuminated Earth Oracle quite a long time ago. This was the first deck that Claire Mack put out. And it's an Oracle deck, and it's just stunning. This was a Samantha Menzo made me buy it deck. I'm just going to pull a few of the cards out. I really enjoy this. It feels very intuitive. When Claire Mack's second deck came out, though, the Faceted Garden, for some reason, I just could not get along with that one. I didn't feel like the words on the cards gave me the same intuitive hits that this one did. So I never did get the Faceted Garden. So it'll be really interesting to see how I get along with the Rain Shadow Tarot. This was a bit of a gamble for me because, again, one of Claire Mack's decks just hit all the right notes for me and the other one didn't. So I don't know. Let's take a look at it though and see if I can get a feeling. I have not flipped through at all. I believe, if I remember correctly, that there's some abstract vibes to this, but let's see. There is abstract vibes to the Earthbound Oracle as well. So we do have a guidebook, and it looks like we have just about a paragraph with a meaning for every card, including the major arcana. So not a real in-depth book. How many pages is this? About 50 pages. So that's what we're looking at or working with there. And let's just get the plastic sleeve off here. So this is edged in what looks like kind of a matte or antiqued silver look. It doesn't feel glittery or super shiny or sharp. It's like what we like about matte. Oh, we're starting in the minors. Oh, what's happening? Hold on. I'm not used to that. Let me just pull out. I want to look at the majors first because that's how I roll. And then we'll take a look at some of the minor arcana cards. So let's look at it together. Oh, I love that Fool. Oh, and I really like the Magician. Okay, so far, I'm digging this. Yes, that makes sense to me. Okay, I think I'm going to really like this. At least the majors are really, really working for me. Oh, I love Strength. Look at that. Oh, so good. This Hermit. I'm not going to do all of them here. Oh, I really like Death. Get that feeling of decomposition. The Devil. Interesting. Oh, his upside down head is so creepy. Okay, the Star, the Moon, and the Sun, yes. And then we have Judgment. I really like this. Oh, okay, I really like this. I was a little nervous. I feel like I saw some preview images and was like, I don't know, man. Let's take a look at some of my other cards that I like to look at. So these are pips, but they feel like they have a purpose. They're not in any way lazy pips. Like, look at that 5 of Cups. I want to look at the 9 of Cups. Ooh, this is interesting. I don't know. Okay, let me check the guidebook. I'm super curious what she has to say about this because that's a very different take on the 9 of Cups. What does it say? Blessed success, well-being, and fulfillment. You've arrived at the pinnacle of success on the ladder of intentions you've been climbing. Spread your wings and enjoy the harmony and fulfillment of your wishes. Your journey of transformation is to be celebrated among those who share your vision. Okay, that's really good, but now I'm curious how that differs from how she interpreted the 9 of Pentacles, because it kind of feels... Hello, where are the Pentacles? Did I just... Oh, there we go. It kind of feels a little similar. Okay, there's the 9 of Pentacles. I'm going to just bring this up so you can see it. So that's the 9 of Pentacles. Let's see. This is not in the order that I'm used to, so it's a little bit clunky for me to find what I'm looking for. Okay. Stability, fulfillment, success. Your resources are in order. Yes, all is well in your sphere as you enjoy the fertile ground you stand on. Okay, you've put your hard work in and can now reap the rewards. Okay, so good. I think she did a good job of differentiating those. What have I done here? Okay, yeah, let's put that there. What's another card I might want to look at? Let's look at the 6 of Swords. That's often a pretty telling one. Ooh, interesting. I'm really kind of stoked about this, and I was so worried that this wasn't going to work, but this is, it feels like a kind of collage. I'm not real good at knowing, y'all, but it's a kind of collage, but it just feels really textured and earthy, just like the Earthbound Oracle. Oh, I'm really liking this. This feels really good to me. So the cardstock feels lovely, by the way. It's matte and gorgeous. I'm going to put my majors on top because you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put the cards in the order I want them because I'm just neurotic like that. All right. This is just how it has to be for me. Okay. So wands need to come first, and then we need to do cups and then swords, cups, and then swords, and then pentacles and majors. So I'm excited about this. I think this would be a cool one to do a walkthrough of and kind of get to know it a little bit better. Maybe even read the guidebook. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know, but this is really beautiful. I'm excited about this for sure. So that is the Rain Shadow Tarot by Claire Mack. This one's an indie deck. Did purchase it myself. Backed it on Kickstarter. Okay, I've got a tower of decks beside me. Okay, what else? I've got 2 more things to talk about. The first of those is Nellies Deck by Kelly at The Truth and Story. Y'all, I am so excited about this. So I'm actually reading the guidebook like I'm reading Nellie's journal. If you don't know much about this, this is, let me show you the cards so you can kind of get a feel for it. It is a story-based deck that Kelly created. Look at this piece of sea glass. So I pre-ordered the limited edition I don't know if it's limited. I think this version of it is limited, but there's going to be, it's available. I'll put a link down below so you can learn about it, but I don't know what the differences are between the pre-ordered version and later versions. But anyways, it's on beautiful linen cardstock. This is what the backings look like, kind of distressed. But this is a mashup of a playing card deck, a Lenormand deck, and a tarot deck. So it's kind of like Kelly's Brainchild, a mashup of systems where it kind of leans into all three of them. So of course, if you lay down some cards, we're not going to have three aces typically, but we have the fact that we've got the Ace of Clubs, the Ace of Diamonds, the Ace of Hearts, which you can then interpret. But then you also have Querent and Significant, and between them, and they're looking opposite directions, and between them is the Clover. So you can read this, Spade, Club, I don't know how this is supposed to be. Let's see. Club, Diamond, Heart. Okay. I want to put them back in order because I'm still getting to know them. Club, Diamond, Heart, Spade. Okay. But that is Nellies Deck. And again, super excited to get to know this. I just can't even. But there's a story associated with it that is told through the guidebook. And I don't want to give anything away, but I'll say there's some little things tucked in here. But every card entry is a journal entry, and they go in order. So I'm reading through it as if I'm reading a book. Right? So I'm using this piece as a bookmark. This is a thank you letter that came with it. And just reading it through in order to kind of get to know Nellie and her story before I work with this. But the way she did the guidebook to look like this, like really distressed, what's the other word I'm looking for? When leather kind of, you know, oxidizes, or what's that word? Anyways, the fact that she made it look like that is just awesome to me. I'm really excited to get to know this. And the last thing that came in, and this again was a total, like, I just think this is one of those things that I will regret if I don't give it a try. And I think Peggy talked me out of this in a previous Say Yes to the Deck, but I need to know. So I picked up the complete Arthurian Tarot. This box set, so this deck went out of print for a little bit, just for a short time, and then it came back in this version. So this is the newest version. And what I've heard about this is really interesting to me. I've actually kind of gone down a little bit of an Arthurian legend rabbit hole because holy cow, this is like, it's something else. This is not just a guidebook at all. You do have the guidebook entries, but then starting right about here, this whole chunk of the book, so this is guidebook, okay? This chunk of the book is an actual course to take to get to know this, and it's quite intense. I don't know if I'm going to go through the whole thing, but I'm kind of intrigued, I have to admit. And in the back, there's actually a study program guide that tells you like what you should try to do and when to go through the whole thing. And it looks like it takes about a year. So, yeah, I just couldn't not. But I think the thing that excites me is I used to have a copy of a deck called Legend, the Arthurian Tarot. But I could not stomach the artwork. It was too washed out looking to me, desaturated. I don't know what the right word is for it. Hate these split trays. I don't know why this is ever a thing. So mine's definitely going to come out of this and go into a bag of some kind, at least once I find one. But I really like the artwork in this version. It's glossy. It's got these backings, which actually reminds me a lot of the Legend, the Arthurian Tarot backings. But anyway, I don't love the borders and the frames on this deck, but I don't care. Like, I actually flipped through this a little bit. No, I didn't, because it still had its plastic. I must have looked at a walkthrough. I must have watched a flip through. And I found that actually I recognized a lot of these references. I love how justice is renamed sovereignty. But I recognized a lot of the references. I know the Arthurian legends better than I think I do. And there was something about Legend, the Arthurian Tarot, that felt a little over my head. But it doesn't need to be. Like, I don't think it needs to be. I really like this art style. It feels very storybook, very whimsical, full of light, and it feels like it represents the stories. So I've actually acquired ebook versions of a few different sources, starting with the original source, which I'm not going to be able to remember the name of, but let me look it up because it's in the references. The original source, Le Morte, I remember now, Le Morte d'Arthur, which is written in Old English. Like that is the original source material for the Arthurian legends, as far as I know. So I'm kind of reading that which is trippy because it's in Old English. So I kind of have to stop and look up words every once in a while. But I'm reading that just to sort of go back to the basics. And then I have another 2 different King Arthur or Arthurian legend books that I want to read. And then I'm probably going to reread The Mists of Avalon, which is a longtime favorite story book for me. So, and there's a series. I have a bunch of them on my Kindle. So I'm probably going to reread those as well and kind of immerse myself in this for a while, see if I could get comfortable, because I'm really attracted to Arthurian legend. I've always have been. And yeah, I feel like I need this in my life. So it came into my life, and that's that. All right, y'all, this is the haul from this month. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If there's, as I said, anything you really want to see me go into a deeper dive video on or do a walkthrough of, please let me know. Magical and Badass Unicorns, please let me know if there's anything here that you want me to pull in and test out for our member readings live stream that's happening this weekend. Let me know for sure. And just let me know your thoughts down below. Do you have any of these? Are you excited about any of these? As you can see, some of these decks are newer to the tarot market or the tarot world, and some of them have been out for quite a while. So let me know what you're interested in. And thank you so much for hanging out. As always, an extra big thank you goes out to my Unicorn Fam channel members. Thank you so much for your support of the channel. It really means a lot. And I'm so stoked that we're doing the deck study now. Truly. And thank you so much to everybody watching this video. I really appreciate the way that you engage with my content. If you enjoyed this, please do hit the like button, subscribe for more videos like this. I don't do hauls all the time. I do them about once a month. If you are trying to avoid hauls for some reason, I totally understand. You can skip this, give this one a pass. I've got lots of other content that is tarot related or adjacent for you to enjoy. And that's it for now, y'all. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, may your magic always shine from the inside out. Bye!